All right, my dears, today we're going to workshop Warrior 2, yeah? And before that, I wanted to talk a little bit about just what warrior means, and the term I often hear used a lot, warrior up. Yeah. Hear that used in yoga circles. I hear that used. What does that strike you as? What do you feel when I say warrior up?
Well, the first thing that comes in is a little bit of a wordplay, because I think what we've heard regularly is man up, right? And so I think, in a way, I think that that's an implication of what is the essence of manning up.
And what do you feel when you hear man up?
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Well, I say fuck that because that's not an inclusive term.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I get what is being implied there is to toughen up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to put your best foot forward.
Yeah. So I love this that you said that, because what goes along for me with man up is pipe down. So I was told a lot as a child to settle down or pipe down, like the hysteria of the woman. If the woman has any kind of emotion or feeling or sensation, God forbid, mental health episode, then it's pipe down, settle down, calm down, shut up. Yet at the same time in my family, there's very much valued man up, which is don't have emotion, don't show feeling, get shit done, produce, produce, produce. And so I think what's fascinating is in the yoga realm to think of the word warrior up. What is a warrior? We can go back to the Bhagavad Gita and Arjuna and this incredible warrior that has this dharma, and Krishna meets Arjuna on the field, and Arjuna has this moment of what could be seen as hysteria, what could be seen as emotion, what could be seen as conscious, you know, where he's, I don't want to do this. I don't fucking want to do this. I don't want to fight the people I love. I don't want to do this anymore. This isn't right. This isn't who I am. And Krishna then tells him it's exactly who you are. And this is your dharma. So I know you know a bit about the Bhagavad Gita. What do you feel when you think about those stories with Arjuna and Krishna and karma? And no, you have to fight. This is what you're here to do.
What I love in them in those stories is that it's this possible representation of any aspect of humanity at any time. And what it always portrays is the possibility to move through. And it might not be in the path that you think that it should. And it might not be the one that looks the way that you'd like it to look, and so on. So what I love in mythology is the messiness of it all. And in the Bhagavad Gita, what is so that lands so much is, even though in this instance we have this moment of emotion where it's almost, there's the possibility of crumbling under that, and how that is also pushed aside in the story in order to follow through with how the arrow is drawn, per se. And that's not always the case, is it?
I had a Facebook post recently, an Instagram post talking about mental health. And so this story is feeling close to home with me of late, and how and I had a shitty couple weeks, and it wasn't one or two things, but really three things that were weighing heavily on my heart. And I did warrior up, per se. Everything in me wanted to just go to bed. Everything in me wanted to go to sleep. Everything in me wanted to quit, and quit many different things. And the practices allowed me to not erase those feelings, but to be able to manage them and hold them. So it was a warrior up that I felt I was doing in order to be able to hold what it is I need to hold.
That word manage is just landing.
Manage, yeah.
Yeah. Being able to be in a physicality. with whatever's on your plate.
Mm-hmm.
That's just an interesting land in that.
So for me, like sometimes warrior up is going to look like you actually need rest. We learned this at Sean Korn that, you know, there's both you're on with a lot of stress or trauma. You can turn on and just go a million miles an hour and not deal with anything. And I've definitely done that at some points in my life, but I am pretty much an off. Like I want to sleep. I want to shut down. I want to not think. I want to not feel. And how warrior up can actually be useful for someone like me, where I come to the mat anyway, no matter what that looks like. The other part of this post was talking about medication and the shaming that we have in these wellness communities around Western medication. It's just, I'm so over it. I'm so over the shaming that in any way taking Prozac or an anti-anxiety medicine or whatever it is you need to allow you to warrior up should be judged by anybody. I think we need to talk about it more. I think it needs to be to the forefront and more people understand that these, for some of us, are what allows us to use the tools of yoga, of meditation, of, you know, you can't warrior up if you can't function. And I had a lot of people reach out to me, and I'm not in mental health crisis right now. My post was much more about, I've been taking Prozac for 15 years so I can deal, so I can have these practices, so I can come to the mat, so I don't just shut down completely or have that ideation that makes me want to not even live. So today we're breaking down Warrior 2 and the notion of staying with something that is not comfortable. So I don't think in my heart of hearts that yoga is meant to be comfortable at all.
Except for yin.
So yin to me is not comfortable because I'm so bendy, I'll hurt myself in yin. But restorative even, you know, it's just not meant to always feel good. It's not meant to, even meditation or restorative yoga can be uncomfortable if our mind is churning, you know? And I think that, you know, let me locate myself that I am a, you know, a white woman and the world is really meant to make me comfortable and not cry, to attend to my tears, to attend to my needs. So for me, being uncomfortable actually is fortifying. It's actually fortifying to feel that resilience, to feel like you can get through difficult poses, maybe not physically demanding, but difficult to stay in. Like Warrior 2, you hold it for 25 breaths. That shit's difficult, right? For anybody. And we get to notice how our brain starts to churn up with all of these stories and all of these narratives and all of these emotions, and hold it and fortify and feel resilient. Like if I can hold Warrior 2 for 25 breaths and my leg is shaking and my mind is saying, get out of the pose, then maybe I can hold space for an uncomfortable conversation where someone's opinion is extremely different than my own, you know? So warrior up.
One thing that I value in anything of this and in a physical practice is your experience is your own. So what is warrioring up for one person might be wildly different. And that's something that there's no talk therapy that can teach you that. And there's no real aspect of a medication that could or couldn't show you that until you experience that yourself. And I think that's the bigger like layer of this conversation is what is your lived experience? Because it's vastly different from mine, and what works for you is very different. So having those opinions and those judgments really diminishes the individual's journey. Period.
All the shoulds. Well, you should try this. You should try that. And
what about?
And you know, most people, and it's the same thing with mental health as it is with, you know, like diet culture too, is that there's a lot of shoulds. And we're not, like you said, all cookie cutters. What works for me isn't going to necessarily work for you, and vice versa, but we can give that person the respect that they've tried many different things in their life to come to the place where, guess what, right? Prozac works for me. Guess what? Veganism works for another person. Guess what? Keto works for another person, or whatever it is, without thinking that there's one right way. And I think the more that wellness and yoga teachers start talking about this and start presenting their own story, the more we demystify yoga teachers as, oh, they've got their shit together. They're vegans floating on meditation cushions, you know, fucking A. You know, just to come back to some realness, like being a larger woman with depression, I've been told all the different ways that I should be in my body, that I should eat, that I should exercise, that I should do, from very well-intentioned people. And it frankly makes me want to throw tables. It really does. Because if you don't think that a person with mental health issues or with being in a larger body hasn't tried different things to make themselves more comfortable and available to be in this world, they've tried probably everything. So I guess the point of this whole dialogue is warrior up in a way that serves you. Warrior up might be Shavasana. It might be legs up the wall. It might be warrior two. It might be standing on your hands. It might be taking a day to just walk in nature, and it might be taking a day to sleep in bed. But there's all sorts of ways that we can fortify ourselves to be present with whatever arises for us. And the more often we're present for what arises for us, the more available we can be for what arises for other folks, especially if they're not agreeing with you. And in that way, we create peace. In that way, we create alignment. Any final thoughts?
No, you got it covered.
All right. We're going to start today. I'm going to boss Kanti around. My favorite. And she's going to come to standing. We'll play. What playlist do you want to hear? The dissolve one or yoga church? There's definitely some moody. Yoga moody. There's yoga moody. All right. We're moody over here, folks. All right. So yoga moody. Yoga moody. We'll look up. Yoga moody. Oh, yeah. It's similar to the last one I did. We'll push yoga moody. Push play in 3, 2, 1. Push play. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Step your right toes to the back of the mat. Bend your left knee, dip your hips, lift your heart, breathe in. Straighten the leg, breathe out. Stay for an inhale here. Bend that knee. Reach your left arm up to the sky. Big inhale. Spin your back heel down, side angle. Stay here and feel that opening of your hips. Root through the back pinky toe edge sides of the feet as you lift that back inner arch. And I love where Kanti's arm is right now, because she could even nudge the left knee so that it's opening over the second and third toe. Looks great. One more deep breath in. Long breath out. Inhale to exalted warrior. Exhale, frame the front foot, plank pose. Right side, side plank. Deep breath in. Back to plank pose. Left side, side plank. Deep breath in. Back to plank pose. Shift forward, lower all the way to Mother Earth. Interlace the fingers by your sacrum and maybe have your, yep, great, feet on the floor at first as you lift your chest off the earth. It's almost feeling like your thumbs are going down to the back of your thighs. And then perhaps lift the legs. You don't have to have your ankles together if that's not available in your body, but have the awareness that the feet kind of want to float out and maybe draw them towards center with whatever feels useful for your body. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, release, plant your palms by your ribs. Come to hands and knees or plank. Back to downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Bend your knee and spin your hip open. 3 hip circles, one direction, and they can be small or big. Notice what you're feeling. And then 3 the opposite direction. And then draw your right knee in towards your belly, chest, or even your nose. Hover forward. Dip the hips as you place that foot forward between your hands. Lift your heart up to the sky. Big breath in. Straighten the right leg, long breath out. Stay for another inhale. Bend the knee. Right arm goes up to the sky. Inhale here. Back heel goes down, side angle. Now we're pausing here and you might nudge that right knee open very slightly. Feel strength and steadiness through that back leg, the heel, the inner arch lifts. And just feel and notice. We're taking another couple breaths here. So it's a pause and side angle, which is a hip opener. Yeah, it's a hip opener. Inhale to exalted warrior. Exhale, frame the front foot, plank. Side plank on the left. Deep breath in. Back to plank. Side plank on the right, deep breath in. Back to plank. Shift forward, lower all the way to the earth. Interlace the fingers behind your tail. Locust pose, come up, lift the chest, lift the feet, get longer. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, plant your palms, hands and knees are straight up plank. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Left leg lifts. Bend your knee, open your hip. Few hip circles one direction. Few hip circles the other direction. Draw your knee in toward your belly, chest, or even your nose. Hover forward. Dip the hips as you plant that foot down. Lift your heart, breathe in. Straighten the leg, breathe out. Stay for an inhale. Bend the knee. Reach your left arm up to the sky. Big breath in. Side angle, long breath out. Inhale, exalted warrior. Now listen, frame the front foot, side plank on the right. Deep breath in. Chaturanga, lower halfway or all the way to the floor. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Walk or hop to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Rise all the way up. Inhale. Palms to the heart. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Halfway lift, inhale. Step your left toes to the back of the mat. Dip the hips, lift the heart, breathe in. Straighten the leg, breathe out. Stay for an inhale. Bend the knee. Right arm up, breathe in. Side angle, breathe out. Good. Inhale, exalted warrior. Frame the front foot, side plank on the left. Inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths now, 5 breaths. So I'm actually going to get you pretty warm first, and then we'll workshop warrior 2, because I find it a lot more available once I'm warm. Shift high on the balls of the feet, bend the knees, walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale, forward fold, exhale, rise all the way up, inhale, palms to the heart, chair pose, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Down dog, exhale. Right leg goes high. Bend the knee and open your hip. Inhale here. Step the foot forward, warrior 2. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, exalted warrior. Cartwheel your hands forward. Side plank on the left. Deep breath in. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left leg lifts, bend the knee and open your hip. Breathe in. Step the foot forward, warrior 2. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, exalted. Frame the front foot, side plank on the right. Deep breath in. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog, big inhale. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Chair pose, inhale. Stand up straight and strong, palms right at your heart. Chair pose, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, right leg goes high, bend and open your hip, bend the knee. Step the foot forward, warrior 2. Find the pose. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, back through exalted warrior. Side plank on the left. Deep breath in. Chaturanga. Exhale. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left leg goes high. Bend the knee, open the hip. Breathe in. Warrior 2. Find the pose. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, exalted warrior. Side plank on the right. Deep breath in. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog. Shift high on the balls of the feet, bend your knees, walk or hop lightly. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose. Stand up, mountain. Great. Chair pose, deep breath in. Right ankle, left knee. Squat down. Inhale here. Exhale here. Stand up, right knee goes up. Warrior 3. Crescent lunge, deep breath in. Twist high, right arm in front. Inhale, center. Warrior 2. Inhale, exalted warrior. Side plank on the right. Deep breath in. Chaturanga, exhale. Cobra or up dog, inhale. Downward facing dog. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Walker hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Chair pose. Left ankle, right knee. Squat down. Deep breath in. Long breath out. Rise up, left knee up. Warrior 3. Land back, crescent lunge. Inhale here. Twist high, left arm in front. Inhale, center. Warrior 2. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side plank on the left. Deep breath in. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Okay, about 5 breaths here. We're going to go into holding warrior 2. Walker hop to the top. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Chair pose. Stand up mountain. Take a deep breath in. Long breath out. Chair pose. Inhale. Fold forward. Exhale. Halfway lift. Inhale. Down dog your way. So that might mean chaturanga, up dog, or maybe you step back to down dog. See what happens. Step your right foot forward now. Back heel goes down, warrior 2. As you come up, check out, are you heel to heel alignment? Heel to heel is pretty good alignment. Some folks like heel to arch, so you can kind of see what works there. So the front knee bends, but opens over the second and third toe. So as you bend that knee, taking that hamstring toward parallel, notice what happens. There should be an opening in the groin where that back heel really roots down. Some of us are not going to get our hamstring toward that 90 degrees at all, nor should we. And it shouldn't be the point. The idea is you're feeling a hip opener in the groin here. So the fronts of your hip bones face the long edge of the mat. But that knee, that right knee is opening over the second and third toe. Yeah. And then there's a root through the pinky toe edge side of the back foot. And there's a real lift of the inner arch of that back foot. Here, I'm going to invite Kanti to lift her front heel as much as possible. And notice what that feels like and how that engages the back line of that leg. Is that true? Feeling the calf, the hamstring of that back leg. And then keep the knee opening and put that heel down. Good. And then lift the front toes. Yeah. And feeling into the 4 corners of the feet. And then gracefully putting the toes back down again. Shoulders are moving down the back and the arms are at that shoulder height, which is real good. And looking over that front arm. Now notice, can your booty have its full range? So your low back has its natural curve, but then the belly draws in the front, so it helps to lengthen the low back. There's kind of a thought in yoga these days where we don't tuck the tail per se. We want to lengthen the tailbone down. And that really comes from drawing the front, the belly and the ribs in. Yeah. One more breath here. And then down dog your way, down dog your way. So just notice how that hold with warrior two felt. Notice what's going on for you physically, or maybe moreover emotionally or mentally, because it's kind of, yoga's a mental game too, like reining the mind in. Left foot steps forward, warrior two. So we're setting up that heel to heel alignment. Yeah, good. Yeah. And then feeling into that back rooting of the outer hip and thigh all the way down to the pinky toe edge side of the foot. The lifting up of the inner arch of that back foot all the way up the inner thigh. And then bending that front knee and opening it to the left. So over the second and third toe. And feeling into, if you bend that knee and your hamstring is going toward parallel, do you feel the opening in the groin? Do you feel the hip opening? And here Kanti might touch the front of her hip bones to show the front of the hip bones are facing the long edge of the mat. Yeah. And as they do, can your booty have its full, yep, low back has its tilt, but then draw the ribs and the belly in the front, and that's going to lengthen the low back. And there's a sensation like the tailbone has a weight to it, and the tailbone's going down as that front knee keeps opening, as the shoulders go down the back. I'll invite Kanti to lift that left heel. And feel how that brings the whole, I can see it, the whole calf and hamstring online, the whole back body online. Back leg is always the stabilizing leg, right? So the back inner thigh works by lifting the back arch. And then placing the heel down and lifting the toes up and trying to feel into the four corners of the feet, all the while that left knee is opening to the left, yeah? And that right leg is stabilizing and anchoring. And then the toes gracefully go down. And the shoulders go down. So if you were to say you're a warrior, what are you a warrior of? I know, is it all right to say what you're a warrior of? I know Kanti has said before she's a warrior of forgiveness, and I see that very much reflected in her life, a warrior of forgiveness. I have felt like I am a warrior of welcome, and that's welcoming all parts of ourselves back to a sense of wholeness, especially the shadow, the parts that we don't want to see, as well as allowing other people to feel welcome around us. Down dog your way. So for Kanti, worrying up might mean, how do I tend to myself so that I can come back to forgiveness? For me, warrior up, I can't even say warring. Is that even a word? Warrior up might mean, what do I need to bring back to center? What do I need to welcome in my own psyche so that I can be welcoming to others, so I can create welcoming space, so I can welcome the process of this life. Sometimes we need a strong flow. Sometimes we need a steady practice. Sometimes we need to go to bed. Shift high on the balls of the feet, bend the knees, walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale, forward fold, exhale, chair pose. Stand up straight and strong, palms right at the heart. Okay, so we're going to combine everything we just did. Yeah. Chair pose. Right ankle, left knee. Squat down. Take a deep breath in. A long breath out. Come back up. Right knee lifts. Warrior 3. Deep breath in. Step back, crescent lunge. Inhale here. Twist high, right arm in front. We're going to add a little flourish here. Revolved, exalted warrior. Take a deep breath in. Come all the way to warrior 2. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, exalted warrior. Cartwheel the hands forward. Pivot on the back toes. Reach your left arm up to the sky. Take a deep breath in. Side plank on the right. Inhale here. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Right leg lifts. Bend the knee and open your hip. Inhale here. Draw the knee toward your belly, chest, or nose. Step the foot forward. Crescent lunge, rise up. Twist high, left arm in front. Inhale, revolved, exalted. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, exalted warrior. Cartwheel the hands forward, pivot the back toes, reach that right arm up to the sky. Deep breath in. See if you can plant your left hand down. Side plank on the left. Yeah, inhale here. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Couple breaths there. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose. Left ankle, right knee. Squat down. Lift that left knee all the way up. Stand up, inhale. Fly it back, warrior 3. Land it back, crescent lunge. Twist high, left arm in front. Revolved, exalted, inhale. Warrior 2, exhale. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, exalted. Cartwheel the hands forward, pivot on the back toes, right arm lifts. Bring that left palm down. Side plank on the left. Inhale here. Beautiful. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Downward facing dog. Left leg goes high, bend the knee and open the hip. Draw the knee in toward your belly, chest, or nose. Step the foot forward, crescent lunge, rise. Twist high, right arm in front. Revolved, exalted, inhale. Warrior 2. Inhale, exalted. Exhale, side angle. Keep opening that knee nice. Inhale, exalted. Cartwheel the hands forward, pivot on the back toes. Left arm lifts, right palm is down. Side plank on the right. Inhale. Chaturanga. Cobra or up dog. Down dog, 5 breaths. Walk or hop to the top. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Chair pose. Stand up straight and strong, palms right at the heart. So we're going to move on. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, fold forward over your legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Down dog your way, down dog your way. Right leg goes high, bend the knee, open the hip. You might stay or you might flip your dog. If you flip your dog, it might be wild thing. Nice. Coming all the way back, hands down, right leg is high. Take the right leg across the body, straighten the leg, thread it through. It can go on the ground or be lifted as your left arm goes up. Come all the way back, open your hip. Inhale here, warrior two. So we're just going to do different things with our hands here. Keep it a little bit more interesting. So cactus like your arms. And start to draw your shoulder blades together. Yeah, good. And I'm gonna have you bring your front arm down just a tiny bit, elbow down, perfect. And the back elbow up a little. And keep squeezing the shoulder blades together, nice. And then interlace the fingers behind the tail. Keep that squeeze of the shoulder blades. Keep a level of softness to the elbows. Fold forward, humble warrior. Let the arms rinse out overhead. Working at getting the right shoulder inside the right knee and letting the head hang. And keeping that warrior two openness to the hips. Good. Come all the way back, warrior two. Inhale, exalted warrior. Side angle, half or full bind. Nice. And working with the glutes, the right glutes really coming in. So if you can see Kanti, that right knee is really opening over the second and third toe. So there's still that ability. And she even brought her back foot to the left a little bit more. So she's not even really heel to heel. It's wider than that. Yeah. So creating that space of more wideness there so that she can have the availability to draw the right glutes under, to keep the shoulders open, yeah, and to keep that back leg anchoring. Releasing that bind, straighten the right leg, triangle pose. Good. And then from here today, we're going to try to touch a block or the floor for half moon, instead of what we often do, which is suspend the hand. Yeah. And so I might even invite you to put the block on the lowest setting. Yeah. And then lift that top leg even more. So we're moving toward more of a traditional half moon instead of what we do, which is real 90 degree. You might be able to even remove the block and put your palm to the floor. And so it's just, since today is like a hip opening practice, this is a very hip opening version of half moon. We would invite that top leg to keep lifting. And then when you're ready, landing back to warrior two, and we're going to hold warrior two for about 10 breaths. So finding your stability there, finding the pose, nice. And so as Kanti gets warmer, I can see that her thigh is moving more and more toward that 90 degree warrior two. Some of ours might not. So be very conscious about, not moving past a point of, it might be uncomfortable, but we don't want it to hurt. And I think that goes back to just what we're always kind of looking at, especially as white or white passing folks, like when are we uncomfortable and when are we unsafe? And yoga practice is one of the tools we have to even show us that. Like We're not unsafe likely in warrior two, but we damn well might be uncomfortable. Yeah. And is it fortifying? Is it useful at all to breathe into discomfort? For me, absolutely 100% useful. Helps me to trust myself that I can, quote, warrior up, whatever that looks like, so that I can survive myself, so I can live my life, so I can choose life. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, down dog your way. Left leg lifts, bend the knee and open your hip. You might stay right there, or you might flip your dog like wild thing. And then we'll come back and that left leg goes high. Take the leg across the body, straighten and thread it through. It might be on the ground. It might be lifted. And then come back. Your left leg is high. Big breath in. Warrior two. And as you find the pose, the cactus, like the arms squeeze the shoulder blades together. Yeah, nice. Back elbow goes up a little bit. Back one. Yep. And we're continuing to squeeze and feeling the shoulders here. And then interlacing the fingers, maybe the unusual way, which might feel odd. Other thumb is on top. And humble warrior with these arms, letting the arms rinse out the best they can, trying to snug that left shoulder toward the inside of the left knee. And the head just hang. And we can see as she does this, a real 90-degree angle of that hamstring and the want for her back hip to internally rotate, to move toward the floor. So she's going to lift that inner thigh so that she still can maintain some of the hip opener here in the groin, but also she's probably feeling all the things in her left hip. Yeah, so being aware of that and breathing. And when you're ready, coming back to warrior two. Inhale, exalted warrior. Exhale, side angle with a half or full bind. And so here we can use that arm to kind of nudge the foot, the knee open. Yeah. And there's also a nudging in of the left glutes so that the shoulders can stack so the heart can spin up. And I might invite you to go lower towards your thigh instead of your booty so that your body is a little bit more parallel, and see if that still works with a bind or no. Yeah. 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 So that, yeah. So I can even see Kanti's like patterns of where it goes, where it's more comfortable, and some what she's doing right now, half bind, where it's less comfortable is the practice. Yeah. For a minute there. Come back to center, straighten that left leg. Triangle pose. So sometimes in yoga, especially those of us that practice a lot, we develop patterns, right? We develop habits, and we're not stupid. We're going to have the habit that feels comfortable, right? Of course we are. We're going to move towards comfort and away from discomfort. And great, as long as we once in a while change that pattern up, we're aware of our patterns, we look, we observe, and we maybe do something different, and maybe we discover it's not harmful. Half moon with our hand on the floor. Yep. Good, Kanti. And then, yeah. So you see that top leg goes past 90 and still trying to open the hips. So I'm going to, invite that left glute in. I know. And so we're so used to balancing one way too, right? It's hard to, so this is very open on this side, very different from the other side. Yeah. Okay, and then very gently back to warrior two. Right on the beat of the music. And we'll hold that warrior two. Just feel into this. Breathing and noticing. And then down dog your way. Come on to your belly. Bending your right knee, reaching back with your right hand. Grab hold of the foot and draw the heel in toward your butt, but tuck your tail. And so you could have your head down if that's comfortable. You could raise yourself up onto your left forearm if that's comfortable, whatever works. But we're going to really play with tucking the tail under. And notice what a difference that makes to stretch the front of the thigh and even maybe the hip flexor, but certainly the quad. And then you're going to kick that right foot into your hand, come onto your left forearm or palm. Yeah, and so this is half bow, Arda, Dhanyarasana. And then come down again and stretch that heel toward your booty again and tuck your tail. What is the difference between a man and man up and warrior, warrior up? Could warrior up be more conscious? Could it be an invitation to come back into center to really see what it is we need? Do we need steady practice? Do we need sleep? Do we need a nourishing meal? Do we need an antidepressant? Do we need an anti-anxiety med? And being willing to do that, isn't that a warrior up? Release your foot, bend your left knee, reach back with your left hand for your left foot, draw the heel in toward your butt and tuck your tail. Do we need therapy? Isn't that a huge warrior up? I'm going to be vulnerable. I need to have a conversation with a dear friend that's uncomfortable, and I'm going to come and approach it with curiosity instead of judgment or resentment. Isn't that warrior up? Kick the foot into the hand and come onto your forearm or palm, half bow. I do think we're in a time of really exploring binaries, man up fragile woman or hysterical woman, that shit doesn't any longer apply. It's becoming obsolete. Come back down, stretch your heel in toward your booty, and thank goodness for that. Sometimes kicking and screaming, we're raising our consciousness. Reach back for both of your feet now if you can. Kick the feet into the hands and come to Dhanyarasana Pose. And I would tell Kanti to bring her left knee, just the left one, in a little. Yep. If possible, always. Then rest, relax, and windshield wiper your legs. Windshield wiper your legs. And then on your belly, thread your right arm underneath your left. Bring your left knee up toward that arm. And then rainbow open into a twist. So that left arm comes out. It probably won't touch the ground all the way. Yeah, great. And if you wanted to, you could touch your knee with your right hand. And then coming back onto your belly. Thread your left arm under your right. Bring your left knee up. And then rainbow open into a lying twist. Yeah. Come back to center, and we're going to move to a wide-legged child's pose. Wide-legged child's pose. So hopefully the knees might go to the edges of your mat. Hips towards your heels. Forehead or maybe even chest toward the floor. And then we're coming up and over onto our backs. Soles of the feet together, knees open. So this is basically the same position you were just in. We're just turning it onto our backs, reaching above your head for opposite elbows. or keeping them there at the thighs like Kanti is to support the thighs in this Supta Baddha Konasana. And then heel toe your feet wide, let your knees tent in toward one another and change the cross of your arms. Keeping your feet this wide, both knees go to the right. And then that right foot might come up to the outer left knee. Yep, good. Yep, good. So what I'm complimenting, saying good about is she was gonna sickle her foot. And then she immediately flexed it at the ankle. So foot sickles are real. Oh my goodness. And then switching sides. So feet are wide, knees go left, left foot on the outside of that right thigh, perhaps. And then release your hands, come back to center. Left ankle, right knee, thread the needle. Just keep that foot where it is and thread the needle. And switching sides. Releasing that side. Both feet are down, rolling bridges. And then any other moves that might feel good before Shavasana, corpse pose. When you're ready, making our way back to a seat. So bringing our palms to our heart. And I guess my invitation for all of us, anyone watching this, for Kanti and I, is just to feel into today, what does the word warrior up mean? What does that mean to you? What does that phrase mean to you? And I would love for anyone to put their ideas in the comments section of this video. When we come into alignment with our Dharma, we look at warrior from the Bhagavad Gita, and Arjuna and Krishna and our own Dharma. We align ourselves again and again for the reason why we are alive at this time in these bodies, exactly how these bodies are, in all of our identities, our racial identity, our sexual orientation, our gender identities, our physical body, our abilities, both mental and physical, our culture, our religion, every identity we have. If we can understand why that plays into our Dharma, what it is we are here to do, what it is we are here to change, what it is we are here to learn, and how we can grow and become truer advocates of peace in this world to create the world we want to see. For me, that is Warrior Up. Remembering who we are and why we are alive at this very potent time on this land. What does it mean to you? In the spirit of peace, we say Shanti, Shalom, Salam, Amani, Maluhia, Irini, Shiakan, Jam, Pache, Paz. In the spirit of our collective truth and liberation, we say, Ashe, Amen, Amen, blessed be, Kapu Aloha, in Lakach, Sat Nam, Namaste, Matakwiasan, Black Lives Matter.